Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, as we are live from Alumni Hall here in Fayetteville, 3417 North College Avenue, where we're going to be here till roughly about 2 o'clock today. And if you come by and get some of the greatest and latest Razorback gear and use that code HOGSBY20, you're going to get 20% off. So come see us, guys. It's good to see each other in person. We don't get to do this very often, but when we do it, it's a special occasion. It's always great to be here at Alumni Hall.
It is great to be here at Alumni Hall, man. I love it out here. I really do. It picks up the vibes every single time, no matter what's going on, and that is absolutely the case here today. A bunch of people out here getting their Razorback gear. The weather is finally lightened up. I mean, I feel like it was just raining constantly for 96 hours or something. It looks great outside. It feels great outside. It's hard to be doom and gloom on a day like this. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much pain in this world, but none in Alumni Hall. None in here. It's the vibes are happy. Everyone's smiling. We had a fire alarm just a few minutes ago that wasn't too bad. It was quick. They got it out of the way. We're having a great time. You know, I was wrong at the beginning of the week. I declared that it is now. It's not long. It's no longer talking season. I just said it was hearing something season. It is no longer hearing something season. It is backpedal season, backtrack season, and
moonwalking.
I look forward to talking about it today, and looking forward to talking about Marcus Woodson's impact that is apparently carried over to the entire state, which is now backtracking.
Yeah, we're going to get into the latest, folks, because I know that there is a lot to discuss and take place there. But we'll have a lot of things going on today. We'll talk about, of course, Arkansas-Notre Dame game. We'll get into all that fun stuff. Also look at some of the Saracen props. We'll look at other games going on this weekend. And, of course, tell you all about the latest here at Alumni Hall. And we're also going to do our Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway today on the show. So if you signed up, we're going to do that as well. And if you haven't, time's running out, so you better go to InsideArkansas.com/giveaways, fill out the form, and we'll do that in the 1 o'clock hour and let you know who is the winner. But we got to start with, if you want to call it breaking news, you want to call it big news. And, Curtis, I know you brought to the attention, and Matt Jones of WholeHogSports.com wrote an article that was released today dealing with kind of the current status with Hunter Yurachek, board of trustees, things that were said, things that were mentioned. And I'm just going to kind of flip it over to you. We've been talking about this all week, maybe the past 2 weeks, but what came from this article that's I'm sure everyone's going to take really well.
Yeah, first of all, everybody lay off the messenger before I even start here, okay? I don't have time for this today. Yes, there was an article that came out. I'll, bear with me for a minute here. I'm going to share with you guys some quotes, but yes, there was a Board of Trustees meeting Friday today, and the table was kind of given to Hunter Yurachek to, hey, dude, you said some things that rubbed the entire state the wrong way. Care to speak on that? Is there anything you'd like to clarify from that? And there was. I think Hunter Yurachek, he said that those comments a couple weeks ago at the Little Rock Touchdown Club were misunderstood and that the full 10-member board is committed to helping football, period. Okay. He said he did not speak clearly. I'm going to read you guys this quote because he was just discussing what he was trying to say. He's had 2 weeks to think about this, so it's a pretty good response here. He says, the group that I was most concerned about was the young men that make up our football team and our football staff, and I had an opportunity to meet with them last week as an organization and clarify what my statements meant, and that was a group I felt like I really needed to do that for, first and foremost, and that was really important to me. So he talked to the team, the coaching staff, whatever, I guess last week, whenever that happened, and he's using this Board of Trustees meeting as an opportunity to get that message out to the state. He says, I was not clear in my response to David Basil's question when he asked about financially how we were set up in this new era of college athletics, and that is on me for not being clear in my answer. I answered the question by saying in sports like men's basketball and baseball, and you can put our track and field programs in that, along with softball, soccer, women's golf, and men's golf, we're set up in those sports really well to compete for and win national championships, evidenced by 6 teams earning a number 1 ranking during the course of the year last year. They went on to say, with our football program, it is set up a little bit differently. It's a tougher mountain to climb. It does not mean they are not set up right now to compete for and win a national championship, but they are not set up as well as those sports I just mentioned to do so. The investment that we're able to make in our football program right now puts us towards the bottom of the SEC in many budget categories such as recruiting, travel, operational expenses, support staff salaries, assistant coach salaries, and head coach compensation. Those other sports, because of the size of the programs and the size of the staff, we can make small incremental investments that push them towards the top of the SEC, better position them to be able to compete for and win national championships.
So my question is, what is it that we misunderstood? Because we all heard him
Yeah,
say
loud and
Arkansas
clear,
is not
yeah.
in a position to win a national championship, and there was no misconception as to what he meant. We all knew what he meant is that, hey, it costs a lot of money to win a football national championship. You have to have a high-level roster. You have to compete at the same level as your peers, and we know Arkansas is not doing that. We just thought it was weird to hear an athletic director not only say that and admit that, but almost like say it like it's a thing that like we shouldn't be upset about. Of like, hey, we're just not in a position to win a football national championship, which again, we've all kind of looked at and said, who are we supposed to blame for that? Are we supposed to blame Pittman? Are we supposed to blame you? Is it our fault? Is it the players' fault? And Hunter didn't really care to answer that. He just said, hey, we are not in a position to win a national championship. And he says we misconstrued that. Like we misinterpreted that. But then he says, I didn't say that. All I said was we spend less money than any other SEC team, and we're not really in a position to compete for a national championship. What is it that we misunderstood? I think what he meant to say, or what he probably should have said was, hey, I shouldn't say stuff like that. While it is true that we are not in a position to win a national championship, it's a bad look for me, the athletic director, to come out here and say that and to put a limit on our ceiling and say what we're not capable of doing. He, instead of doing that and taking any accountability, he just went to, you guys missed what I was trying to say, and then just detailed exactly what we thought you said. I don't really understand that, and so maybe you guys can help. I don't know what it is that we misunderstood. I feel like that's exactly what we thought you said. We just thought it was weird that you went out publicly and said it and said that this team is not positioned to win a national championship.
No, I mean, that's how again, I don't really understand why this type of crap keeps happening, where it's the fans' fault or media fault or everybody else for misconstruing messages. No. This is not a misconstruing message. This wasn't just something that like one troll started on social media and then everyone was like, oh, maybe he's got a point. The outrage immediately following it from everybody was apparent that that's how everyone took it. And if you want to say that people misconstrued what I was saying or whatever, then why did you wait this long to clarify your comments? Why did you wait this long to do this, and why did you do it in a board meeting when who are the people that are upset about it? I'm sure, I don't know, maybe the board people were upset too, but why did it take this long? Why are you having to, and again, Matt Jones, wholeHogSports.com, great journalism and writing about it, and no problems there, but it's like, why do you choose to do the avenues that you do and how you do it when it comes to these things? And here we are the Friday before the game, a little past noon, and it's like, I mean, it's just it's absurd, and it's even makes everything even more frustrating because you are the one that messaged this. You wait, you sit back, you have a Twitter account. We know you do. You sit back, you let everything boil to a thing because you're like, hey, we're not hearing from him, so we must be on the right. We must be saying what's right. And then you come out, it's like, it's just misconstrued. Like it is, the communication is god awful in this entire athletic department, and this is just the latest example of it.
The unanimous response when he made those remarks at the Little Rock Touchdown Club was, he's not wrong, he's not lying, but how did we get here? Do
Right.
you acknowledge that this is your doing? And what's the plan to get out of this hole? Well, we didn't get any new details on all of that, aside from they were very clearly trying to portray a united front with the Board of Trustees and with Hunter here. And so I'll read a couple more comments because I know some people were talking about that on the Discord. I've seen some of it in the chat. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Juracek said to have an opportunity to compete for football titles on an annual basis, it's going to take a significant and sustained financial investment, and people across our university committee being aligned to that being our goal. We have to have that moving forward if we want to have the opportunity like other sports do on a regular basis. It says Trustee Steve Cox of Jonesboro said, amen, I like that. I want to win, and everybody in the state does, Hunter. Let's see. What do we have here? Trustee Kevin Crass of Little Rock told Juracek the board can help ensure that the university has campus leadership that is aligned on its goals, saying that Ted spoke for all of us and we're committed to helping you improve football. I hope I speak for the board when I say we want the leadership across this campus, athletic director, chancellor, finance people, to be aligned and have thoughtful, collaborative conversations about what we do to address the challenges in athletics. Crass went on to call the Razorbacks a top-tier athletics department and said it's unfortunate in the world we live in that what happens on a weekend or two can just completely distract from what the truth is. and that is you have established a very successful athletics program by all these metrics, referring to Hunter Yurichek's athletic department.
A line that sticks out to me from that is, in order for Arkansas to compete for national championships on the football level, like for them to do it year in, year out, it's going to take everyone being committed to understanding and making that their goal. Why would you go out? Like, who are you talking to there?
Exactly.
You're the one who literally a week ago told us, it's actually not possible for us to win a national title, which, again, like you said, we all kind of know deep down, Arkansas is not winning the title this year. It's going to take a lot for them to win a title, but none of us would come out publicly and be like, Arkansas is incapable of winning a title. So it's like, take your own advice, buddy. Like that was our big pushback against what you said, is how dangerous it is for someone in a leadership position to put a ceiling on the program that is way lower than anybody wants it to be. So it's like, again, you can sit there and be like, oh no, I didn't mean that. All I meant is this, and we all have to do this. It's like, dude, just look in the mirror and take your own advice. What I also don't love about the article, and I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more, and I appreciate you for bringing this to us. This is huge stuff. It seems like everything that Hunter Yurchek said at the board meeting went over well with the people in that room. It seems like they accepted this and said, okay, that was a valid explanation for the comments last week. We're all good. We can be on the same page here. I just don't know if I really buy that, especially when it's like, again, it just feels very backtracky. It's more of a, I got caught, and so I'm apologizing now because I got caught cheating or I got caught stealing or whatever, but I don't think you really feel that bad about it. And I also don't buy, what are we supposed to take from this? Are you now going to start investing? Whose job is it to find that money? Because that's the thing. You keep saying it's the missing piece of like, oh, we all have to be aligned and we have to have the money to do it. Whose job is it to find that substantial financial commitment? It's like, is that our job? Because that's what he's tried to frame it as before. He'll go to that last year he went to the Touchdown Club and was like, fans, you guys have to donate more, which, sure, you can always donate more, but it's like, where is that substantial financial bump going to come from, and whose job is it to find that? I'll tell you, it ain't ours. I think it's his. And so it's, again, he can lecture us about what it is, the deficiencies in the program in the athletic department, but it's like, we're not the one that's tasked with doing this, and we're also not the one putting limits on the program and what it can accomplish. And so, again, I wish he would listen to his own words. I wish he would take his own advice.
I'm glad that we are half a decade into this, and we're finally all on the same page in agreement that you need more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. I'm glad we made it to that point. Now we can maybe take the next step and come up with a little bit of a plan here. I will just caution, and John, I know you have more to say on this. Everything that's been happening this week since Sunday, it's clearly a very coordinated effort to stop rocking the boat, to portray a united front, whether that's with the football program, the administration, board of trustees, all that. If you think about the backtracking from Marcelo on his reporting, right, and then you think about everything else that's gone on from this standpoint, Frank Fletcher getting on the radio, you're starting to hear all these other, people coming out saying these things, a certain morning show that has completely flipped the script from where they were earlier in the week. All of this is happening for a reason, so it doesn't come as any surprise to me that I know a lot of people are like, really, the board of trustees? Wow, really, he's getting the vote of confidence here? Are you kidding me? Are they crazy? They weren't going to throw him under the bus in this setting, even if they wanted to, so I'm not surprised that they're giving off this united front. But I know for a lot of people who are fed up and demanding change and they want something different and they need something new and they're not confident in the leadership, to hear some of those things today, I know a lot of those people are going, good grief, what now? What do we do now?
I know. And it's like this, it just makes everything so much worse every single time. And it makes people like your faith has been shaken as a Razorback fan in the administration and with the whole thing. And it's like, it seems like you're always a day late to messaging. It seems like you message things the wrong way, misconstrued. At some point in time, it doesn't need to be misconstrued messages or, waiting until – no, it's you. You have a problem. And, are you telling the truth or are you not? This is nobody else's fault but yours. You are the one that are at fault. You are the athletic director. You are the one that should be communicating this, and you're not. You're not communicating anything. The only time you communicate anything is if something like this happens and you want to be clarified, or you're taking victory laps and being like, see, I told you I know what I'm doing. But that's all you ever do. You don't take accountability. You don't understand. You don't even have the audacity to even relate to Razorback fans being like, hey, I know we're not winning as much as we should be. Like, you won't even say that. Like, you won't even acknowledge that. It's more of, I know what I'm doing, and I don't know who all is in on the board of trustees. I know you've read some of the quotes. I don't know if everybody's on the same page on the board of trustees. Maybe all believe it, because at least from what I've heard, not everybody's feeling that way. But it is certainly such a weird thing I was even bringing it up before the show. It's feels like it's almost like a mobster movie, mafia thing, where a message and communication starts coming out, and suddenly it starts changing over the week. And it's like, did somebody get to these people and intimidate them? They're like, hey, your family's going to end up on a fish hook or something like that when you get inside your house. You're going to have a horse head in your bed. Like, what made all this happen? And it's just, again, the communication's awful. Everything's awful about this. I can't stand, again, not the article because it was a great written article. I'm just saying I can't stand everything I heard in that article because it just infuriates me even more. And if you're a Razorback fan, you hear that. It's like you have never felt more powerless in your life. You have never felt like you have zero say in anything going on with your athletic department than what you do right now, and that's the prime example of it.
And by the way, I see Chase Jones, I see you there in the comments, man. He said like a half dozen times now, you got to listen to Marcelo at the Hog Sports Club or whatever it was today. He didn't. He doubled down on his comments. He didn't backtrack from them. Well, then instead of doing the moonwalk, he's doing the hokey pokey, right?
Right. I mean,
is my left foot in? Is my left foot out? You know what I'm saying? Like he said it with his chest on that thing Sunday, and then had the tweets that he had where he was like, well, here's actually what's happening. And then if he's doubling down on it in front of a microphone, but then he's basically saying that there's some sort of coup, or at the very least that Petrino's making it very clear, hey, if there is a change, I want this job when it's open. But then he's picking Arkansas to beat Notre Dame in this football game. Like it's all over the place here. Probably a really tough position to be in. But no, I have not listened to that yet, Chase, and I don't know if I will or not. But I'm glad you brought that to my attention because I do think that's notable because it seems like there's a lot of back and forth coming from maybe the same place there.
Well, I think it even furthers the point. If he really does feel the way he feels, which, by the way, we said even when he did his backtrack, we were like, listen, I'm sure he felt what he felt on Sunday. I'm sure that's real. And we had a lot of our chatters who were like, I actually believe what he said the first time. The fact that he doubled down on it, that says to me that he still does believe and did get told the things that he said on Sunday, and which even further asks the question, why did he come out backtrack? Why did he put out a tweet purposely meant to put out that fire unless someone maybe mentioned to him that it'd be a good idea to do so? Why did Chuck and Bo Monday say, oh, yeah, it's clearly that this is all going to be gone and clearly this is not going to have a happy ending and we know where this is headed? That was their exact terminology. We know where this is headed. Now, all of a sudden, here we are later in the week, and no, everything's fine. We never said that. No, he got a positive vote. Everything's fine. Why are these things happening? And listen, a lot of what we do, our jobs, I feel like is to try and articulate to fans how they should process, how they should feel. And so I don't want it to feel like we're sitting here telling you how to feel. That's not really what I'm trying to do. We're just simply asking the questions. And by the way, it's not even like we have the answers of like, we know what's going to happen and we know how this is going to play out. We're just asking you guys, we're presenting you with the information, which all these guys, this information comes from several different directions. You can make your own conclusions. You can read the quotes from Hunter Yurachek and you can decide how you feel about it. I'll tell you how I feel about it. I feel like every time you corner Yurachek or Pittman, they will say whatever they think you want to hear is. They will say whatever they can to divert blame, to kick the can down the road, to change the subject, to push it away somewhere else. Never from Yurachek or Pittman will you ever hear accountability of, hey, I have underperformed. I need to be held responsible. I have messed up here. I'm sorry for messing up. Let me try and not mess up. That's the messaging that never happens. It's always, well, our D-line was tired because it was hot. And, well, I mean, I didn't mean that we can't win a national championship. I just don't think we're going to. And, I do think, honestly, we can cut out all the BS and we can read all the quotes we want. I don't think when you have Sam Pittman as your football coach, I don't think your goal is to win a national championship. And if you truly in your heart believe that Sam Pittman is the coach that's going to lead you to a national championship, that tells me that tells me how off base you are. Like, if your goal is to win a national championship, Sam Pittman cannot be your head coach. And if your goal is to win a national championship, you cannot have the financial investment that Arkansas has. And if you think either of those things are going to lead you to a football national championship, then that tells me how off base you are in your process, which is why I think it's better to just come right out and say, like you did a couple weeks ago, like, hey, yeah, we're not going to win a national championship and that's not even our goal. That was the truth. That was the truth. And everything else, I mean, again, he can say whatever he wants. Just look at the moves he makes. Does that look like a guy that is positioning himself to put Arkansas in a chance to win a national championship? Like, I've said for a while, that is not the goal of this athletic department. The goal for Hunter Yurachek and this athletic department is to break even, is to make their money back, which, by the way, Hunter Yurachek makes plenty of that. I do not believe in my heart Hunter Yurachek wakes up every day hoping to put Arkansas in a position to win a football national championship. I don't even think that is in the top 25 of his list of goals. And I think every move that he makes and this program makes kind of lets you know that. And I'm not even here to say, hey, that like he should be doing everything to win a national championship, although of course he should. I just think it's stupid when the messaging changes so much week to week, and it's just you corner him and he's like, oh, we can't win a national championship. And then you corner him again and he's like, well, I didn't actually mean that. I think it's going to continue. This cycle is going to always happen where there's going to be something happen, and then we're going to get told, no, actually, you interpreted that wrong. And, well, I said this thing, and no, you interpreted that wrong. Don't listen to it. Don't buy that, Hawk fans. Like, you are not interpreting anything wrong. Make your own conclusions. Feel how you feel about it. Just look these guys in their eyes and let me know if you see a winner or not. Let me see if you see a guy who has conviction and actually believes what he's saying. You can tell a squirming bastard when you see a squirming bastard.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, it's a tough situation, I think, Razorback fans to be in. Which, by the way, folks, we're at Alumni Hall here in Fayetteville, 3417 North College Avenue. Come on by. They got everything in stock, all the great jerseys and hats. They got the highest brands of Johnny O. They got polo shirts. They got everything getting ready for game day weekend. Right here at Alumni Hall, 3417 North College Avenue. Use that code HOGSBUY20 to get 20% off your purchase. Yeah, but you could just tell by, we'll get to the chats, I know, and we'll see poor Matt Jones on Twitter is getting ratioed, even though he's the messenger, poor guy. But it's like, it's just one of those things to where, it's just disappointing, and it's disappointing to feel in this position if you're a Razorback fan, and to feel like, it goes back to if you think that the NIL is going to help you, then push NIL. If you think that it's giving to the foundation, the Razorback Foundation is going to help you, then promote that. If you think it's the raffle, then promote it. But that's the thing, is it's just when you don't see these things that if you told people and let them know, hey, this is it, this is it, this is it, people would buy into it. But if you don't promote it, people take that as, okay, well, you just don't care as much, and it's not going to make a difference, so we're not going to do it. And it's like I just don't understand what the expectation is for Razorback fans to feel right now. Like from Yurchek and from the board or whoever. Like, what's your expectation for them? To just like, you say that we're committed to this, we're committed to that. So okay, so what do they need to do? Just sit back and trust you? I think you're past that point. So that's my question: is like, what do they want fans to do?
I think the big thing here is that the reason they ran back Pittman as the head coach is because they thought they could get away with it. They thought that would be adequate. I mean, and I think that's one thing that they do in terms of football and what they do to try and put the program in good positions. They always try and do the least amount of work possible to get the best possible results. Like, hey, we'll donate money, but it's only going to be X amount of money, and we'll pay for a football coach, but we're only going to pay this amount. They do whatever they think they can get away with, and I think Hunter Yurchek, when they decided to run it back with Sam Pittman, they thought, hey, if he can go 6-6, 7-5, like that will probably be acceptable. Like we will still sell a lot of tickets. Fans won't riot. Fans will be fine. And I think now they're kind of starting to realize, hey, maybe that's not going to be fine. But it's like, again, I don't think he's always constantly thinking, what's the best possible decision I can make to put this program in the best possible situation? What is the closest I can get us to winning a national title? It's more just like, hey, what can we get by with? And I think, honestly, he even mentions in there that basketball and baseball, it's different. I don't think the basketball and baseball programs operate that way. I think John Calipari, like, whether he's going to lead Arkansas to a title or not, I have no doubt, and I don't think any of us have any doubt that, like, every move John Calipari makes, his goal in the back of his mind is this leading us closer to a national championship? And maybe some of the moves work, maybe some of them don't, but that's at least what they're trying to do. I have no doubt that Dave Van Horn, they're trying to win a national championship. I have no doubt Courtney Deivel, she's trying to win a national championship. And I'm not saying that Arkansas football doesn't want to win a national championship, that they don't want to win. I just don't think that the moves that they make are necessarily with winning at the forefront. I think it's sustainability, and I think it's making money, and I think it's selling tickets, which, by the way, they've done a great job at. So who are we to even say, like, they've been, because that's been their goal, and they've achieved that goal. Last year was like the highest record attendance they've ever had. And I just think he honestly was like, hey, if I can keep doing that without changing anything, why wouldn't I do that? And I think it's up to us now in real time to let the university know without a shadow of a doubt, you will not be able to keep getting away with doing the bare minimum and hoping you can scrape by.
Yeah. We're here at Alumni Hall, folks, in Fayetteville. We want to remind everybody that here on Inside Arkansas Live, presented by our friends over at Hickey & Hole Law, we know that divorce and custody cases are very important. It's very important. If any of you are going through that, it's a struggle, and it's something that you want to make sure that you're protected. You want to make sure you have your ducks in a row, because let's be honest, if it's dealing with siblings, if it's dealing with family members, if it's dealing with children, if it's dealing with your spouse, whoever it is, you want to make sure that you're good to go, that you're getting the most out of it, and that you have that great representation. So give our friends over at Hickey and Hole Law a call. If you're dealing with this, they do with so many different legal cases, but we know divorce and custody are definitely important. So give them a call today at 479-434-2414. That's 479-434-2414. You can also check out their website at hickeyandhole.com. For all of your legal advice and legal help, use the official legal team of Inside Arkansas. It's Hickey and Hole Law. Things are about to get better. So, again, folks, we're here at Alumni Hall, and we're going to have a lot of things to get into here this afternoon. Great crowd coming in, which, by the way, people are talking about this hat. I don't know if you guys are – I'm not a big hat guy, as you know, but this is one of those new hats. They have the ropes. I guess rope hats officially made a comeback. I feel like everyone's dealing with the rope hats these days. So, but, got the great hat here. Got the Johnny O little hoodie here, the athletic hoodie. Ellis is wearing the creams today.
Yeah, got the creams going.
Yeah,
got the College World Series hat on too. Mm-hmm. The one there's a hog logo somewhere on here.
Yeah,
this is legit stuff.
Yeah, got all the Razorback gear right here in Razorback apparel at Alumni Hall. So again, come by and see us, 3417 North College Avenue. Use that code HOGSBY20 for 20% off. So, but now I know we've talked about this, but what do you guys think is going to be the lasting impression? Like, we're seeing some reactions in real time, but as far as regardless of the outcome of the game, I think we did this against Memphis and maybe against Ole Miss, but hey, if they win and if they lose big or if they win big, just how do you feel with these comments, with the current state, and then with the different outcomes that could happen against Notre Dame tomorrow morning? Like, how do you feel like some of these scenarios could play out?
I don't know, man. I just say after this stuff today, I don't think anything's going to happen.
Right.
Like, I don't think any moves are going to be made. And if they like, I know some people are saying, I saw the comment, I can't remember who did it. I started, but it was like, oh, we're 27 hours away from firing Sam Pittman. Is that really what you want?
I mean,
because the board of trustees just put they've shoved all their chips in on Hunter Yurachek there. So you want him making the next hire? You know what I'm saying? So be careful what you wish for there. To a degree, winning cures all. So like it would take some of the heat off, right? But it's just kicking the can down the road at this point. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah.
They had the Tennessee situation last year, and that soothed some people, it calmed some people down for a little while, and then by the end of the year, we were right back where we were, and now we're right back here again. So, yeah, they win this game. People will, calm down on that front a little bit, but I think it's just kicking the can down the road. If it's another close loss, people are going to be incredibly frustrated. The only way I could see something happening, I don't know that involves Sam Pittman or whatever, but if you just get smacked around at home and you look dead in the water, you come out flat, whatever, that could be problematic. And, I don't know if that would mean certain heads would roll, position coaches, something like that maybe, but nothing that's going to happen on Saturday during this football game is going to change the perception of how people feel about this athletics department as a whole or administration as a whole. People are very frustrated with what Hunter Yurachek's got going on right now. You go beat Notre Dame in a football game, I don't really think that's going to change.
So, guys, I used to have a dog named Bentley. It was my best friend, the best thing that I ever had in my life. And Bentley had this issue. He was a great dog, but he would occasionally go out and he felt it was his job to defend the house. He would go out and bite our neighbors. And he would bite people that would come to visit our house. Anytime we would have him in front of people, he would just get very defensive, and he would bite people. And eventually, we had a few calls and complaints, and we had to put Bentley down. And it was a very sad day. And I remember all the time he would bite someone, and we'd say, all right, well, hopefully he just doesn't do it again, and, we'll be fine. And eventually, one day, he bit that final person that called animal control, and they put him down. But if that had not happened, we would have kept Bentley for a decade. And there would have been that threat of him biting people, but, as long as he didn't do it, we didn't have to do anything. My position, I was like, hey, let's just keep him here and we'll hide him and it'll be fine. Eventually, this football program will have their version of Bentley going out and biting in the neighbor. There will be something to where it's like, okay, now we have to. And the Memphis game, I think, kind of classified as that. But, there's going to be a moment eventually. There's always going to be a next one. If we know one thing about the Sam Pittman era, there's going to be a next Liberty. There's going to be a next, BYU game. There's going to be a next embarrassing Mississippi State home game. Yeah. There's going to be a next Memphis. So maybe it's this year, maybe it's next year, but there will be another biting the neighbor, and we all kind of realize, hey, something needs to happen. But I think the one thing we can all agree on, and by the way, the three of us are not co-signing this as the way it should be. We are just saying that is the reality of the world we live in. If Arkansas beats Notre Dame Saturday, Sam Pittman is 1,000% not getting fired. 1,000% not getting fired this week, and probably won't get fired the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. I think we can probably agree on that. And again, that's not our way of saying that should be the case. But to the point I was making earlier of Yurchek is always going to do the least amount of work possible to just kind of keep the status quo. So if Arkansas beats Notre Dame, everybody, I mean, you can, based on the tenor of this week and the messages that have been put out publicly, I think the U of A would be sitting there going, whew, thank God, man, we dodged a bullet. Now we don't have to do anything for a while. We can just kind of keep going, like you said, kick the can down the road. And so I think that's kind of what's at stake here this weekend. And I'm not saying that in a way of like, hey, you should want Arkansas to lose, but I think that if Arkansas wins, we're all going to be excited. We're all going to be happy. But I do hope y'all understand what that means. And you can feel however you want to feel about it. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. But I do think that's the reality of the situation. And like you said, Curtis, if Arkansas comes out and gets absolutely walloped, will that be enough for the people that have money in this state and the boosters and the alumni and whoever that has all these big, these big, deep pockets? Will losing embarrassingly against Notre Dame be enough to piss them off to say, hey, we're going to storm and we're going to figure out something? I don't know. That's probably the best case towards it, but I don't know what it's going to look like. And I think we've all kind of circled this of like them losing by one score is kind of that weird purgatory where would it be bad enough to get a change? Probably not. Would it be good enough to change anyone's mind about the season? Probably not. And so I don't know what the world's going to look like if Arkansas loses another one-score game to Notre Dame. I'd have to imagine it's going to look pretty similar to the one we live in right now where we're all just kind of pissed off and nothing's going to change for it.
Yeah. You guys know what purgatory is because that's certainly what it would feel like if you do. I mean, that would be the case. And I think even, I'm looking ahead a little bit, and because I agree with everything you said, Curtis, just about the way it feels, and like it doesn't look like there will be any change. And say if Arkansas goes 6-6 again this year, and they get an invite to the Liberty Bowl or the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl or whatever it is, and you go 7-6, you get a trophy. You're 30 players transferred out again. Just like you guys remember how bad it was, the morale and everything after the end of last year and the year before.
Yeah,
I mean, think about how bad the morale will be for the fans that want to get to this point, and of course, you won't hear anything from Yurchek of saying this is our guy. We believe in this. Pittman will just be like, "Hey, I'm the coach. I'm who wouldn't want to be the coach here?" You'll just be kind of sitting there and be like, "What do we do?" It'd just be another year, and you're just stuck. Meanwhile, you're seeing Ole Miss, Missouri, and these teams maybe going to a playoff, fighting for a playoff spot, and you're sitting there, with another trophy for a meaningless bowl game when you have walk-ons out there playing. It's like, it's just you're just going to feel again powerless and like you just can't do anything.
It's a brutal position to be in as a Razorback fan because you're stuck in between a little bit on. We all want the team to win. Like, we all want the players to do well. Like, we all want to support them.
Yeah.
When they're down, or it's like when national media is attacking them or saying this thing, whatever. We rally no matter what the situation is behind them, and you just have that deep rooted fandom that's not going to go away, and it shouldn't go away. And then so in a way you feel a little bit guilty because at the same time you're so ticked off at what's going on with the administration, or you're burned out from the coaching staff or whatever, and you want change. Well, then you feel guilty because you don't want to root against your guy. It's a tough situation to be in there because I've seen some people in the chat, they're like, I'm just so exhausted of all this conversation throughout the week that has nothing to do with the fellas getting out there trying to win a football game on Saturday. I understand that for sure. I feel fatigued about it. I've had multiple moments in the last 34 minutes and 30 seconds where I've been like, I'm so sick of talking about this, but we don't really have a choice. It's kind of what we're supposed to do here. Bring me the football. I'm going to be excited to watch this football team tomorrow. I'm going to be pulling for them to win. I want it to happen so bad. I think it would be awesome for the fans who are going to be there. It would be great for these guys. Rally, man. Get it done. Be my guest. But I'm always going to have that, it's like that pit in the stomach or in the back of your mind. No matter how excited I get, if that happens tomorrow, I'm going to be like, gosh, man, we still got to deal with this.
Yep.
Like the reality, the big picture is still there. It's still a thing. It's like this cloud that's just following over our head. And that is frustrating. It's not a place that I like being.
Yeah, and you remember just a couple weeks ago, not that long ago, like 15 days ago, when Arkansas was 2-0 going into that Ole Miss game, and we had some of the fans that were like, oh, man, I kind of hope they lose to Ole Miss. And I pushed back very firmly against that. And I was like, that's stupid. I think when you're 2-0, you should still have that hope of like, hey, we're going to, until we lose a game, we have a chance to do something cool. We have a chance to have a good season. And so I always said, when that is in play, if you have an opportunity to have a good season or to have success, that should be your priority. That should be like your goal. That should be where your head is at. And then I didn't say, once you lose, then now you can cheer for the team to lose. But, like, there are things that change that. And so, honestly, 15 days later, I feel bad for pushing back as firmly against that as I did, because now where we are in the situation, I'm not saying I co-sign it, and I'm with you, Curtis. I tomorrow morning will absolutely be cheering for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Like, that's not going to be a question at all. Like, I will want them to win. I will never want them to lose. But I am no longer looking at a fan and saying you shouldn't feel that way, or thinking you're stupid for feeling like, hey, you kind of secretly want them to lose. I think we're now at that point. And again, it's not how I feel, but I at least understand how people feel that. But really, what it comes down to is like, we just know what the ceiling is. We know even if they beat Notre Dame. Does that mean that they can now make the playoff? No. Does that mean now that they're going to be able to beat a ton of other top level SEC teams? Probably not. And so I think that's what is so frustrating. And you mentioned purgatory, John. I think that's great for it, because pro teams we see go through this where you're kind of you're not going to make the playoffs, and so you're like, all right, should we just tank, or are we going to be close enough to the playoffs to where we can make a run for it? The problem with college sports is you don't get anything for losing, other than potentially your coach getting fired. And so it's like it really is crazy that we're in week 5. And we are now legitimately at the point where we don't know for sure if we want Arkansas to win because of where things are at. I think that speaks volumes in and of itself. And so I know there are a lot of you that are probably doing these mental gymnastics, not knowing how to feel. And we're kind of right there with you, honestly.
Well, a great man once told me, guys, that in college sports and college athletics, if you ever want to know if change is needed, not wanted, but needed, is if there's a certain individual, coach, whoever, go introduce him at the game on Saturday. And what would the fan reaction be? Now, again, they're not going to do that. But I'm just saying, right now, if you brought Hunter Yurachek out there and you said, hey, everybody, welcome in athletic, you don't think it wouldn't rain boos from the stands?
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, you got a problem. Like, you got a problem. You know, I'm not saying that you have to cheer for him, but there's so many people upset. And it's like, again, I just don't feel like anyone's taking into consideration the feelings of Razorback fans. I know that sounds kind of cheesy and cliche, but it's true. It's like no one cares. And, you know, like looking again, big picture into the season and everything, if they go 6-6 again, I like we're going to be doing our, you know, bowl selection day show if they do that. And, you know, we'll talk about it and everything, but then it's just going to be a big womp womp. You know, it's like, all right, go get to beat, this time you get to beat TCU in the, Texas Bowl or whatever it is. And again, you just feel like the longer you go this way, it's squeezing you people, like it's just squeezing the passion out more and more and more as time goes on. So, again, that was just I'm so happy I'm at Alumni Hall today, because if I wasn't at Alumni Hall, I would be down in the dumps after hearing that article. Like it just would be, but it's like which I am. I'm still upset, but again, you got a game tomorrow. You're gonna cheer for them. You're gonna win.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Got the pregame show. Gonna have postgame show. Gonna have all that great stuff. So it's gonna be good. It's going to be good. And then if you're that pissed, next Friday, Pod at the Palace, we're going to have a little pregame show at Goat Lab Red next Friday, and we'll get ready for prime day. So that's the thing. If you hate everything in life, don't hate basketball. Because basketball is going to start up next Friday, and you get to see the players, so get excited for that.
I can guarantee you Arkansas football is not losing next week.
They are
guarantee
not.
you they are not.
Right. Bet it on Bet Saracen right now. They ain't losing. They ain't losing next week.
It's going to be next week. Pod at the Palace primetime, previewing primetime at the Palace. I've been working on that.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Mouthful.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
Bob
reversal.
Vance refrigeration.
Yeah, the little reversal there. I like that. So, yeah. But, we'll be doing that at 6 o'clock next Friday, a week from today, at Goat Lab Red. We'll give you some more details on that as time goes on. We'll get into some of your chats and, of course, the vibe checking of the chats presented by our friends at Basis Health, where they're changing the way that healthcare is delivered by providing mobile medical visits to the comfort of your very own home. Doctor will come to your home for urgent care, primary care, IV hydration, and so much more. It's Basis Health. They're here for you when and where you need them the most. You can learn more at basishealth.org today. Shout out to our guy, Dre, for being partners with us here at Inside Arkansas. All right, we'll try to get to your chats, folks. I know there's a lot of them coming in, and we'll do our best to get through them. But, of course, super chats always get read first. Them's the rules. Our guy Hayden just said HY Hunter Yurachek caught not cheating. So, yeah, it's true.
I mean,
yeah, he didn't get caught cheating. He got caught not cheating. So,
that's literally
good. Yeah, that's very good. Kelku, great. From Kelku says horse head fun. Well, let's hope that there's no horses that you need to cut off their heads or anything like that. Let's and I don't know if $5 is going to get there, but we appreciate the super chat regardless. Shout out to Fishman super chat. He says, "Oh no, all the sports that make zero money would be worse off if football is good. Can't have a bad volleyball team." And listen, I understand your sentiment. You want all the sports to be good. You do. Like, all the sports to be good. But let's be honest about it. Football pays 90% of the bills. It's the biggest sport. It's the biggest game. You want to be interesting, and you want to be good, and you want to have people invest in it, because if they invest in that, by direct default, they're investing into the other programs. So I get what you're saying.
There's a big misconception here that like Arkansas is good in the sports that they've sports that Arkansas is good in. They're allocating more money there, and like make no mistake, Arkansas spends more on football than they do. Basketball's kind of close now with John Tyson and stuff, but like they still spend more spend more money operating the football program by like a billion%. Like it's like not even close. That doesn't mean that like softball having more success than football is not because they've invested more in softball. The biggest misconception is that if you're like investing a ton of money in football, it's going to affect any of the other sports in any way, shape, or form. Like not even 1%. Those programs are all doing well because they have good coaches, good leadership, good rosters, and they're doing well. They're spending about as much as their peers, and you can still do that in literally every sport. Realistically, you're not going to be good in every sport, but like the notion that like if Arkansas is good in one sport, they can't. It's like that's not really a real thing that how the world works.
Yeah. Let's see. Hayden also said that BOT article was too positive for my liking. Understandable.
I wouldn't have expected anything else.
No.
It's. I just want to reiterate that the board of trustees, there was no way that they were going to have this meeting and they were going to throw Hunter under the bus and scapegoat him, and then we're going to have this big write-up over at Whole Hog about that. There's no way that was going to be a thing. So it doesn't surprise me, but I get it. And so, because we've heard a lot of different things about like, oh, well, yeah, the board of trustees, they've had it. They're fed up with Hunter and everything. And you hear a lot of things that aren't true. Maybe some of that we heard early in the week falls under that category. Maybe some of it that we just read out loud in this story falls under that category. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a concerted effort to make things seem smooth sailing. Whether that's true or not, I'll let you connect your own dots there.
Well, and I mean, listen, and I also want to you touch on a good point that like people are yelling at Matt Jones because he's the one that put out the article. This isn't a Matt Jones thing. Although, of course, Matt Jones is not going to write an article that's like, hey, everyone hates your check. Like, clearly that's not going to happen. But to your point, Curtis, I remember being in fall camp, and I remember back when we were on the beat, and we would go to those press conferences, and we would take a quote, and we would write a story based on that, and then we would make a story that has a headline that says, hey, Arkansas loves their linebacker room. Mm-hmm. And then people would, and again, that's what we did. And we kind of knew what game we were playing, where we would take the quote, yeah, we love our linebacker room. We think we're going to be great. We think we're going to be running 6 deep, all this, blah, blah, blah. And so the headline says Arkansas feels great about their linebacker room. This is all part of the problem of it's the messaging. And so people see that and say, oh, I should have high expectations for the linebackers. And then when they don't, they come back and yell at the people who wrote the story and say, you told me the linebackers were going to be great. And I'm saying, no. I said Arkansas felt good about their linebacker room. Doesn't mean the linebacker room's good. I never claimed that they were going to be good. I just said the coaches feel good about it. And that's pretty much, and then, I say all that to say that's essentially what's happening with this here, is Matt Jones is not reporting for you that Sam Pittman's not going to be fired. He's not reporting for you that everyone loves Hunter Yurachek. He's not reporting for you that the football program is in great shape. He's just reporting, hey, there was a meeting. These things were said. Here's how these people feel. And he listed those people out. Here's the quote from Yurachek. Here's the quote from this guy. This is the situation. And you can take all that, and we will all jump to our own conclusions. But, I think it's important to understand, having that media literacy of understanding what is said. Because a lot of times we jump to our own conclusions, and a little bit of that is what we do professionally. But I do want people to make sure you're directing your anger in the right ways. Don't direct it at Matt Jones is really what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's just being a journalist. He's doing his job. So, but also, too, it'll never happen. And I'm not saying it has to be me. But, man, you know what? It'd just almost be great if, Hunter Yurachek could do a one-on-one with somebody that kind of can ask some of these questions and just, unedited, uncensored, unfiltered, and just get to the bottom of a lot of the stuff that people do have questions about instead of just kind of, releasing some things here and there and then just dealing with it. It would be nice if that would happen, but it won't. It won't. Shout to Chris No for the super chat. We appreciate it. Says, when do we get an official Inside Arkansas / Goat Lab Red collab tailgate for football? Stay tuned because we got some home games into the mix coming up, and we're definitely going to – it's all about timing,
Stop doing the 11 a.m.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Goat Lab's going to be open then, but it's to really get it going because what we plan on doing is doing a pregame show from Goat Lab Red for one of these games. And who knows, maybe it'll be a Texas A&M game. I guess Mississippi State or Auburn's at noon. But Mississippi State is that also at noon too, or 11 a.m. I should say? I got to look at it.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, we'll keep you updated.
Talking,
we'll keep you updated. But we definitely are going to do that, and it's going to be awesome. So can't wait for it. Also, shout out to Heartbroken Hog for the super chat. Appreciate it, Heartbroken Hog. He says, also, if you're bad at football, you can never win arguments with other fans because even in other sports, they just throw football back in your face. That's true. That's true. They do throw it in your face if that ends up happening. But, you say, hey, basketball, baseball, but then they're like, I'm LSU. Oh, well, basketball then. We got you. We got you in that one. We can make that work. So you have the time?
A&M is 2:30 or 7.
Okay.
So that's a possibility. Mississippi State is afternoon, either 2:30 or 3:30.
I feel like Mississippi State's the one we need to coordinate because 1st of November, fall's in full swing, and we don't have to worry about flexing. It's like, no, this is what it's going to be at 2:30.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, we don't. It's not like we'll have a time set and then be like,
Right.
actually, it's going to be 4 hours later.
Yeah.
So that'll be our 3rd straight home game too. That's like a rare thing.
That's unheard of. So, by the way, we got to figure this out because we go to Alumni Hall each and every month, and we always like to do it before a big home game. Maybe we do it before. I don't know if we'll do it before Mississippi State or not, but I was like, that'd be kind of fun because that's actually Halloween, so would be the Friday.
Yeah, the day before.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. I don't know what we'd wear. Maybe I'd maybe go full like Glenny Balls and just dress as Petrino with the neck brace and everything. So I'm sure that's going to be making a comeback. A few other chats, folks. Which again, we're here at Alumni Hall, 3417 North College Avenue. They're busy. They've been busy all day. It's almost like there's a Razorback game going on tomorrow or something. But come on by. Hogs buy 20 for 20% off your purchase. Let's see. There was a chat that was from Tamra. She said, I've watched some Notre Dame podcasts today. They're nervous about Arkansas. Notre Dame channel picked Arkansas to win. I'll say that, like, from the Notre Dame people, not that I know a bunch of Notre Dame people, but Notre Dame people, they've been chalking up. They're like, hey, we don't feel too confident about this. We're probably going to lose type thing.
And then that's why I keep finding myself in this pretzel of, like, why are we talking about this, like this program being in dire straits and let's clean house, let's fire everybody during the bye week, and then in the same breath we're like, they'll probably beat Notre Dame Saturday.
So weird.
Well, for the guy that was saying that Brandon Marcel doubled down on all that, he literally picked Arkansas to win the game Saturday. So I'm like, I don't know how you can believe that the offensive coordinator is scheduling a coup of the leadership, and then you also think they're going to win Saturday. It's like those things don't really.
Strangest thing, man.
One thing y'all need, and everyone needs to be aware of, because I know some Hog fans do it. Reverse jinxing is a very real thing, and I'm not saying it's a real thing in terms of it has power in the universe, but people do it. I have a buddy who gambles religiously, and he texts me all the time, and he'll be like, oh, my bets are cooked. Oh, yeah, this team's up 7-0. Oh, it's cooked. And he's doing that hoping to be proven wrong so that it's a win-win for him. He's either right or he gets what he wants, which is Arkansas winning. Podcasters and radio guys and media people do the same thing, where you might pick Arkansas to lose so that you're either right or Arkansas wins, which is what you wanted. People do it all the time. So I need y'all to just understand. I mean, me personally, I make a prediction every single week. There's always politics in what I'm doing. There's always kind of certain things going on. I
look at this game, man, and I understand it from the tactical side on the field, and Notre Dame's defense has struggled or whatever. They have played far better competition consistently over the course of their schedule than Arkansas. So I see a lot of people going, well, yeah, Arkansas's defense is bad, but look at Notre Dame's or whatever. Well, Arkansas hasn't played 3 straight power conference teams. It's a little bit different. When you get to skew things some with Alabama A&M and Arkansas State, that matters. Here's the deal. Neither defense is very good. But, I look at it and I'm thinking, okay, what is the more likely outcome here? Is this really that Sam Pittman is like defending the Alamo and they have this like incredible performance and they knock off Notre Dame and knock them out of the any college football playoff consideration at all 5 weeks into the season? Or is it the opposite, where Notre Dame's actually not as bad as everybody thought, and they play an Arkansas team that everybody thought that they were going to beat at the beginning of the year, and then they just do it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think people definitely are overthinking this a little bit, and I'm not saying that means Arkansas can't win or won't win or any of that. Like I'm not pretending that I know what's going to happen tomorrow at all. I also think that we're looking too deep into Notre Dame being down on their program. They're 1-2. Mm-hmm. They're 1-2 after making the title game last year.
Their expectations are different.
100%. So it's it's really not like that crazy of a premise that their media members and their fans would be disappointed with their start and their confidence would be shaken in the team. Doesn't really mean anything in terms of this matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll just say this is if Arkansas gets blown out to Notre Dame, because like you said, Kirsten, everyone's in a pretzel right now. Because usually, if people wanted Chad Morris fired, it's not like, oh, he may beat Mississippi State this weekend. It's like, no, it was not even. That was they're going to lose. And even with Muss, and we love Muss. I love you, Muss. Please don't get mad at me. But he was at that last season he was here, when it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall, everyone was like, sure, maybe, but they're not going to. You could tell. And then here in this situation, it's like, this guy needs to go or I need to find. But man, they could still find a way to be stupid and win. It's just a weird conundrum I feel like Razorback fans are in right now. But if they get blown out, and if they get blown out like that, and then you have some sort of vote of confidence, and you're checking vote of confidence, hey, Pittman's our guy moving forward, he's going to be back next year. Like, I'm serious. I know we make the joke, but it's going to look like January 6th over there over at Razorback Stadium. Like, people are just going to be outraged. And, you know, again, just all these next few weeks, not as far as anything changing, but they're just going to be fascinating to see if any messaging gets come across, which it won't. But at some point in time, you're going to have to get from behind. You got to get out of behind from the board of trustees, from behind all this. You need to go on your social media. You need to go where the actual fans are at and just do something. Let people know what the crap is going on because they want to know. Shout out to Addison. He says, just got 20% on a cool sweatshirt at Alumni Hall.
Good boy,
hey,
Addison.
yeah, that's good. We have Notre Dame fans in here, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about this game is that you don't have to say, like, oh, I wonder how many Notre Dame fans. Like, green and gold are about as opposite as you could have from red and white. So you'll be able to point them out pretty quickly. But good to hear that, man. And I like this from Austin from work because of the $2 for $38 mix and match tees behind us. He's like, 2 for $38 equals Sam Pittman's portal policy sale. Sheesh. That was good, Austin. Ray Brazel. Oh, I get it right.
Brazil.
He has the super chat. Appreciate it. Says dark side NIL deals by LSU are still certified. What's that mean?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I just know if it's something you guys, like we're one of those like One Tree Hill things that go over my head that I don't know anything about. It's like there's something mentioned, but we'll find out.
It seems anti-LSU, which I'm here for. So.
Yeah, there we go. Chase also says I watch a lot of podcasts and feel like I know very little about Notre Dame other than they have a really good running back tandem. Well, the one thing I know about Notre Dame is that their pass defense is god awful and terrible.
According to Curtis's Google search,
we shouldn't have read that.
It has a little bit more. There's a little bit more complexity.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I saw. Okay, I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah. All right, it's what happens. Jeez. Let's see. Hawk fan 40 ounce says, any chance for Arkansas to turn the season around? They only have 2 losses. Is it crazy to think playoffs? Yes, it is. It's crazy because
probably crazy to think playoffs.
It's not crazy. It's insane, is what it is.
Yeah.
And when I say insane, it's the definition, and we all know this. It's doing the same thing, expecting different results. My thing is just like, what is the big difference that is going to be vastly different from what Arkansas has been doing in past years? Not to say they can't be better than 6-6, but it's like, what changes? What is the different process that's going to lead them to the playoffs, particularly when they have pretty much no margin for error now?
Yeah.
Well, with a loss to Memphis on the record, I mean, they would just have to win out. Like if
pretty
we're
much,
talking
I don't
playoff,
think 9-3 works anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they have an undefeated SEC season, or sans the Ole Miss game, they rattle off 7 straight and they beat Notre Dame. Yeah, they probably get in. But listen, I think there are probably still some wins on the schedule here. But
I know
that's a lot of gymnastics to go through to get to where they want to be.
And that's my whole thing is I'm like, I don't trust this team. So how can you I don't trust them to win games. It's not to say that they won't, but how can I sit here with all these games left to be like, oh yeah, they'll win this game. They'll win this game. They can't. They have shown and they like to lose in different ways, and they don't do the things needed, the little things, especially late in games, to win. So why would I pick them? Why would I feel good about any win specifically?
We got to have that conversation last year, okay? We got to have that fun last year. They beat Tennessee, and we were all looking at it going, probably not going to happen, but here's the path. We got to do that entire thing during that bye week.
That was a fun week.
We're not going to be able to do that this year. So, sorry.
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you remember Hagen Smith's first start of his junior year where he gives up 4 runs in the first inning or whatever. Now, for the rest of time, every single opening day starter for Arkansas baseball, we can say, well, I mean, Hagen Smith did this in his first start, and he ended up being, a Golden Spikes runner-up. And, well, Andrew Benintendi hit 275 as a freshman. So now anyone who hits 275, they can do that. Like, literally, like I see GZM doing, being like, he's like, hey, well, South Carolina was 3-3 last year. So it's like, okay, what is the correlation between Arkansas and South Carolina? What is it that Arkansas is going to do? Make the case for me. Sell me. What is Arkansas going to do for the rest of the season that's going to be vastly different, and it's going to really yield itself? Like, mathematically speaking, yeah, they haven't been eliminated from the playoff, but it's like, anybody who wants to make that argument, you can't even come up with the words to form to say this is what Arkansas is going to do that's going to lead them to the playoff.
Is South Carolina 17-43 in their one possession game since 2012? No, like you are. So that's my thing. Is it's like you're not. It's like you can't just say, well, this team did this. When has that ever happened? Like when has that ever happened with Arkansas looking at these other teams like, well, this team did this, and so we can too. But you're different. different
Right.
coaches, different players, different administration. Everything's different. So I just think that just blindly being like, well, let's correlate these things. It's nonsensical. It just isn't there. It's a fugazi.
I will concede this, though. If you change all of the circumstances surrounding literally everything in the world we live in, I would maybe feel differently.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Just change everything and it would be much different. Also, like this from SET says, Andrew Rance hit different from the left. Well, he's always been left-leaning, so it's like
okay. Why is everybody caught up on this positioning? We sit in the same order at Alumni Hall every single time, right?
I don't even know. I don't know if that's
maybe
the case,
sometimes
but
John's in the middle, but I saw everybody at the beginning of the show was like, "Why are y'all sitting the way y'all are?" I understand that when we do the normal show, John's face is right here, Curtis is right here, and I'm over there. But it's like at Alumni Hall, I feel like we've been doing this once a month for 2 years.
I mean,
I just like to think of myself as the picture of consistency.
Yeah, Curtis is the only one that you can count on to be in the middle.
Okay, how about this, folks? Does it make you feel better? Huh? Does that make you feel better now? Now you see everything that's backwards and you can't read Curtis's shirt anymore. Does that make you feel better? Jeez. Okay, see, I'm going back. It's getting me dizzy. See, look, I'm already out of words. Like I'm not doing the mirror.
What does
camera
dizzy feel like?
Yeah, you know what? That's a thing that you're going to have to be on the members only chat to know about. Let's see. There was another one. Where was it? Oh, Smee was saying what was going on with the Notre Dame quarterback situation.
Not a ton. CJ Carr's their quarterback, and he's going to start. He's going to play 98% of the snaps. They have a guy, just like everybody does, that they have a package for, and they think, hey, yeah, this guy's athletic. Maybe we can get him in there. Will they play him? Will they, bring him in on 4th and 1? I don't know. Maybe. I think we have to, as a society, release ourselves from the shackles of the package as like an interesting thing of conversation. Because every team has it. Hell, Arkansas has a package for KJ Jackson. You never see it, and maybe you'll see it from Notre Dame, maybe you won't. But it's like, I don't know. I think it's like kind of like every team does this. Like they have a guy, and obviously Arkansas's starting quarterback is pretty athletic or whatever. But it's like its own package, and maybe you play the guy, maybe you don't. Their coach said something about it. Clearly, like I think was just hoping that Arkansas would spend time in practice preparing for him.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you are Notre Dame, you probably look at this game and you think, okay, we can line up mano-a-mano, starters on starters, and go out there and try to beat Arkansas. But we all know that the kryptonite for the Razorbacks is a backup quarterback. So you got to have a package in place for him. Like if the whole game plan goes to hell and you got to figure something else out, you just put it in QB2.
I have seen people, Curtis, unironically coming to that conclusion and being like, that must be it. They saw Trinidad Chambliss, and we're like, yeah.
Is there a worse kryptonite to have than a backup quarterback? Like, as far as just the team's morale, like we're good to go. But as soon as that backup quarterback comes in, we're toast.
Dude,
that's a pretty rough thing.
I saw a quote from Mike Tomlin today, and he said last year when they played Indianapolis Colts, he told his defenders, he said, don't hit Anthony Richardson that hard. He was like, keep him upright. He was like, we do not want Joe Flacco coming into this game. He was like, we literally would rather just let Anthony Richardson play from the pocket.
That's so dumb, but it's I believe it though. I believe it. Let's see. David says, did you know that Arkansas and Tennessee almost have the same identical statistics in total offense and in total defense? I was not aware of that.
I did not know that, no.
This is another thing we have to stop doing in society is after 2 or 3 weeks being like, oh, this team's ranked. Like, everybody's done that with Notre Dame where they're like, oh, their defense is ranked 100 and whatever, so, like, they're worse than Arkansas. And it's like, well, yeah, they played Miami and A&M. Arkansas's played, 2 bad teams and then 2 solid teams. I was saying that Arkansas and Tennessee are in similar things. Tennessee played Georgia. And they played somebody competent week 1. I think it was Syracuse. Who's really, yes, yardage-wise, you can make the case. But, again, stats like this are extremely, extremely misleading. Statistically speaking, Arkansas had a top 25 offense in the country last year. And we all know they didn't, Statistically speaking, Arkansas is like the 6th best offense in the country. But scoring-wise, not necessarily the same.
Yeah. I've just... Again, it's statistics. It's not all of them are created equal because that's the thing is, I was talking to Notre Dame people about Chris Ash and their pass defense and how bad it is. It's like I see that and I'm like, yeah, obviously training on Arkansas should do great, but it doesn't mean that that Taylor Green and all of them are going to have 500 yards. Like it doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be that way. It just means that it could become that way.
It's a frame of reference and it's a data point, but it's like like what Arkansas did against Arkansas State and Alabama A&M have absolutely zero bearing on this game, but they have a lot of bearing in those stats.
Yeah,
which is all you kind of need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Also, a few other things of chats that we want to get into then, because we'll have some other things. Like GZM just says, question is if Arkansas will score enough points in the first half to survive the second half and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for them to balance out their scoring a little bit, where maybe you don't have to score 30 in the first half, score 20 in the first half, and then score 17 in the second half. Like, can we just do something like that?
I love how they put out the tweet like 18 times this morning of Arkansas scored at least 28 points in the first half of all 4 games this season. Everybody's like, now do the second half.
Right.
It's been a struggle the last couple weeks, and is it an adjustment thing that other defenses are making? Is Arkansas being a little bit different in their approach offensively in the second half? Every game's there, but it's something they need to figure out, because they are unstoppable in the first half of these football games, and then you get to halftime and it's been a little bit sputtered, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's rough. That's rough.
What's crazy, before we move on, what's crazy though is defensively, it really hasn't been as drastic as you would think. Now, last week they gave up, I don't know how many points did Memphis score in the second half? Like 20.
Something like that, yeah.
But against Ole Miss, they only gave up like I think 7 or 10 first half or second half points, and so it's like as bad as Arkansas's depth is, we really haven't seen it show up in a game. Like the Memphis game was an example, but like I think we're actually due for a game where Arkansas's defense gets worse and worse throughout the game, and it gets really bad.
Yeah. By the way, people are talking about our audio. We're checking into it, and
we are currently live. So I mean,
we got to check into it, and we'll do what we can to make sure that we get it taken care of for you guys. But just hang out with this because it's going to fix itself. So just hang tight with us here as we're at ALUMNI.
It happened. This is a perfect time to talk about it. A few days ago, I tweeted at Ozarks Go, and I was like, "Hey, I want to speak to whoever's in charge here because I have an opportunity. I would like to pitch to Ozarks Go." So we'll see if they get back to me. I didn't even say anything about, my internet or anything like that. Obviously, people know. Every single response, there was like 9 people that tweeted at me, and they were like, "It must be your fault." Like Ozarks Go, they've never messed up. Like they don't make mistakes, and you must have done something wrong. And I'm like, one, I don't even have Ozarks Go anymore. I am not complaining about it. I didn't say they messed up. I literally just said, "Hey, Ozarks Go. I want to talk. Like I would like to talk to whoever's in charge because I have something I want to pitch them." And literally every single tweet was like, "You messed something up. You did something wrong." And I'm like, dude, what are y'all talking about? I didn't even say Ozarks Go messed up internet. I don't even have them in my internet provider. But everybody is just, again, it's just like people love to do that.
Yeah, people love to be that way.
Well, Trey Biddy said it's perfect. So
yeah, and I think at least a couple of them were people. I think I saw one person do that bit where they were like, "Oh, Trey Biddy says it's perfect," but like literally every single response was like people ratioing me for literally just tweeting at Ozarks Go.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny to where us business and being in the internet. It's kind of like having us on the internet is like watching the Razorbacks. You just really, you rely on something else to succeed, and you just hope and pray that it happens, and then you just go with it. So,
all right,
either right. It's again, just stay with us. Just stay with us here for a little bit. But either way,
I'm glad it's not just me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I said, we're gonna make it happen. But either way, let's go ahead and let everybody know about Goat Lab Red, because we know that they're one of our great sponsors here. We talk about doing a tailgating show. It's going to be happening this year. And then once we have some fun with that, we'll let you know about it. But next Friday, we're going to be there live for a little. Sorry, go ahead and say what it was again, Curtis, so that way I don't mess it up. How you had the wording for your for the pregame show?
It's going to be Pot at the Palace Primetime, previewing Primetime at the Palace.
There you go. See, I couldn't say it better myself. That's why I have Curtis say it. But either way, it's going to be awesome. So we're going to be there. It's starting at 6:00 at Goat Lab Red. It's at 1214 North Garland Avenue in Fayetteville. We'll start at 6, and then 8:00 is when Primetime at the Palace takes place. So we're going to have some greatness for that, and have all the details for you. I know Curtis will also be doing a post-game show for Primetime at the Palace and reacting to everything we saw, and hopefully there'll be some fun shenanigans to it. But hang out with us. Goat Lab Red, a little pregame show before Primetime at the Palace, and then we'll go to Primetime at the Palace. It'll be that fun, but great spot. And they're also doing their progressive wing night, where wings start at a discount price. And if you arrive before kickoff tomorrow, you purchase your first set of 6 wings after the initial discount price of $1. And after each price drop, you must order at least 2 wings. But when the wings hit free, you eat all you want. And after every score by the Razorbacks, by the way, the price drops to that score amount and the wings until the wings are free. So you could end up getting free wings tomorrow. You could end up being there all day long and just eating wings nonstop for lunch, breakfast, dinner, all that good stuff. So shout out to Goat Lab Red. We'll give you more details on the tailgating and all the great stuff that we have going on there. Really appreciate them being an official partner of us here at Inside Arkansas and the official sponsor, of course, of the Inside Arkansas Recruiting with Dudley Dawson. So, guys, again, I know we've been talking a lot about the Razorback side of things too, and we'll do our Walter Christmas lighting giveaway here in about 15, 20 minutes, or at least when our audio starts coming back at least. But either way, there's actually a lot of great games this weekend in college football that I'm glad that it's the one positive for Arkansas playing at 11 a.m. because you have all the best games like Georgia, Alabama's going on. You got Texas A&M and Auburn. You got Ole Miss and LSU. And you got some pretty banger type of games happening this weekend. And luckily, none of them are at 11 a.m. So when you get done with the Razorbacks game and playing against Notre Dame, guess what? You get to watch great football. So it's going to be fascinating to see some of these teams like LSU and Ole Miss. How good are they? Because there's been some close calls. Going to find out there. Alabama and Georgia is always a great one, but is Alabama legit after that bounce back against Florida State? Or is Georgia, as legitimate? They had that big win against Tennessee. There's going to be some really interesting games that's going to be going on this weekend.
Yeah, those are awesome, man. I'm really excited about this SEC slate. I don't know how to feel exactly about this Ole Miss versus LSU game.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm starting to lean more and more towards Ole Miss. Maybe it's because I know Lane Kiffin's going to run it up on his boy Week, his son-in-law or whatever we want to call him. So, the closer we get to it, the more I feel better about Ole Miss, which is weird because I didn't feel myself going in that direction. Bama, Georgia is always a banger. I don't know if I'm buying it just yet. I know they've looked a lot better. They also got equally blown out by Maryland at home or something. So how much does that really mean? I probably like Georgia in that game. It's at Georgia, right?
It is at Georgia.
Yeah, yes. I probably like them in that game, but it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be awesome. I'm with you. If you're ever going to have an 11 o'clock game, this is definitely the week to do it because as soon as it's over and we do our post game, regardless of what happens, I'm just dialed in on the television the rest of the night.
100%. Yeah, the Ole Miss LSU game. It's fascinating. You want to talk about fan bases that don't feel confident? LSU fans do not feel confident. They range, and so I think LSU fans don't have any disagreements with that. Even though they are off to a great start. Hell, a lot of people have them as the best team in the SEC. Their fan base doesn't feel that way. They do not like their offense. They don't like their offensive line. The big question I have in this game is the Trinidad Chambliss aspect of this, which, by the way, he's, of course, officially the starting quarterback. So you're welcome, Trinidad, for securing your big job there. He's about to face a real defense. He faced Arkansas. He put up 50 on Tulane. This is a big test for him. What happens if Trinidad Chambliss just goes out there and cooks LSU? One, Ole Miss probably wins, and they're 5-0 all of a sudden. And now you're looking at Ole Miss, who's coming off of a disappointing finish to their year. They would be right. They'd have an inside track. They would be, in very good position to make the playoff. We'd have to really start having a conversation of holy cow, is Trinidad Chambliss just like this, knight in shining armor that's come to save the day for Ole Miss? I have a feeling though that it's not that simple. That maybe he's not going to throw for 500 yards against LSU's defense. We'll see, but I think that's we're going to learn a lot from that game in terms of just what the trajectory is for both of those teams. And Georgia, Alabama, what do we do if Bama beats Georgia? Do we just go right back to, hey, all right, you know what? DeBoer actually is fine. They're good. They're back. They were a playoff contender going into the year. They lose to Florida State. Everyone kind of panics. They go out there and beat Georgia. What is that? I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll just look at it as, hey, it's craziness in college football. Nobody really knows who's good or anything like that. But to the Trinidad Chambliss thing, would he be the Heisman frontrunner? Because John Mateer, I know he had successful surgery, but he would have to be the Heisman frontrunner, right? At this point,
unless there's someone else that I'm just forgetting,
Carson Beck. I saw up there. People love the Indiana quarterback right now.
Yeah,
Mendoza. You remember Mendoza last year when he was at Cal and he gave that speech where he was like, "I'm so proud of our team." He was crying in the post game and he was so happy for the team. He's a fun guy to root for, and that offense is firing on all cylinders, man. And so I think Beck is going to be. He has a very high floor in the Heisman talks because it's they're going to go 10-2 at least, and he's going to put up decent numbers. I feel like he's probably locked to be a finalist, honestly. But yeah, there hasn't been a guy that usually we all look at and we're like, oh yeah, that's the guy. That's usually what happens with the Heisman is there's a game or a week where we all of look and we say, oh, okay, this is the guy that's now the Heisman front runner. I think that could be this for Trinidad Chambliss, as weird as that sounds. I also don't know how him not playing in the first 2 games affects this.
Teams that are in wait-and-see mode right now, as it is. And, again, we're going to have the good games this weekend, like Auburn and Texas A&M. Those are 2 teams that you play at home here in the next few weeks. And, A&M's looking really good. Auburn had that loss to Oklahoma, but, of course, if you ask them and their AD, they're still complaining about that call that happened. So, how are they going to bounce back? Are they going to be legit? Because I tell you, if they beat Texas A&M, suddenly they start looking a little bit differently. So, again, there's a lot of those games that I think people are going to be tuned in for, interested in. It'd just be nice if Arkansas was a part of it. It'd be nice. Cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if they were just out there, enjoying and being one of those games that everyone's looking forward to and everything. I actually am curious about, speaking of the Arkansas game, how do you think the Notre Dame fan base will show up? You think there's going to be a ton of Notre Dame? Because I feel like it's such a, not a global, maybe it is global, but like a national brand. There's probably a ton of Notre Dame fans that live here in Arkansas, right?
I feel like it's going to be about like that prominent, noticeable section there that's loud.
My question is, and I really don't know the answer to this, do Notre Dame fans travel? Is that a thing? Because I feel like Southeastern Conference teams take a lot of pride in travel and showing up. And I know Notre Dame has a big fan base, but do they take pride in traveling? Maybe. I really genuinely don't know the answer to this question. I think that's kind of the thing I have. The only thing I can go off of, we were in Omaha in 2022 when Notre Dame was there. I know baseball's a very, very different thing, but they did not travel for that. They very much did not. Obviously, football's way different, and this is a big game that, the type of game, if you're going to travel once this year, you probably travel here. I'll be interested to see that, but I bet they have a decent little congregation.
Yeah, I bet, because there would be a uniqueness to it where I think, Notre Dame's not looking at Arkansas as some sort of juggernaut opponent, but there's a uniqueness to it. Kind of like when so many Razorback fans went to BYU. It's like, when are we ever going to go to Provo again? So might as well make the trip. I bet you there's a lot of buy that are Notre Dame fans and may make the trip over. So, yeah, I think the turnout will be really good. And I wonder if they have a band, right? Yeah, they have a band, I believe. So they got to play.
They got a band.
So we're going to see the Irishman like they had from the video game last night. Are they going to have him out there dancing and doing stuff?
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was grooving.
Yeah. I wonder what's the prerequisites. Do you have to be Irish to be the mascot? Like, do they have to check your lineage to a 21andMe or 23andMe or whatever it's called?
I think they'll take any just angry looking, redheaded guy maybe.
Yeah. Listen, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. Hunter Yurchek did just tweet us about the soccer team. So
good.
Win is one
back.
Razorback.
He said, "Good luck to the team. Win is one Razorback." Yep.
Good stuff there.
Yep. You heard it here. I can't wait to see what that ends up being as far as the ratio and all that great stuff goes. So either way, I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Not surprising. Razorback fans are going to be showing up, but they got full hats in stock, folks. They got Hawaiian shirts, they got polo shirts, they got sweatshirts, as Addison talked about buying. They got this really sweet Johnny O. What is this called when it's like the hoodie athleisure wear? Does that have a name? Probably should know this.
Tri-Fit.
Hey, Jolie, what is this called? What? A hoodie. Okay, so
we'll go with it.
I just didn't know if that's some specific name as far as that's the DX athleisure 2500 or something like that. No, I didn't want to put you on the spot there, but either way, but no, they got some great apparel. They try to convince me to wear hooded tee. There we go, hooded tee.
Hooded tee.
Yeah, they try to convince me to wear one of the new jerseys for the women over there, but it's a little cut a little short. We'll be showing off a little the things that nobody wants to see. So, but either way, they got it all in stock, folks. So come on out and hang out with us again. We're going to be here for the next few, not a few minutes, but we're going to be here for a good while. And again, it's great to be back out here at Alumni Hall. So, as a reminder, tomorrow, pregame show for Inside Arkansas Football starting at 8 a.m. It's usually 9 a.m., but those early games, they come early. So 8 a.m., we're going to have our pregame show, and then we're going to have our postgame show following immediately after the game. And then we'll go right into, of course, all presented by Bet Saracen. And then we'll have some fun with the report card. Can't wait to see what that turns out to be. I'm sure, if there's things, we always do predictions. Not saying you guys should do this, but I always be curious of what your prediction for the report card and what that's going to look like as far as grades and everything go. So, but also, but Razorback baseball is happening this weekend. We'll action tonight was at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Gates open at 5.
Yeah.
Free admission, free parking, not free concessions, but they are for sale, which is cool. You can get you a hot dog, get you a beer. It's going to be a fun time, man. I'm looking forward to that. Should be a lot of your favorite Razorbacks from last year should be walking around the park. We'll be hanging out. There's going to be a lot of recruits, too. A lot of recruits, like 20-plus. So it would be cool if fans could show up and like really make that a cool atmosphere, and it always is. There were like 4,000 or 5,000 last year when they did this. I think that's what better pitch as a recruit than it's like Friday night of a football season, and we've got 5,000 fans here watching baseball, watching a scrimmage. It's like that's a pretty cool little message to show off.
Oh yeah, and again, I'm sure that you'll have because if you're another sport, like I don't know what the recruiting looks like right now for gymnastics or golf or whatever, but it's like this is the weekend to bring for every sport. Because again, the weather's going to be great. The crowd at least is going to be great. So
I mean, that Texas game from 2021 might have been the biggest recruiting weekend in the history of Arkansas's athletic department. Like honestly, that game shaped like 7 different programs of like big guys that were there, and made their kind of fell in love with Arkansas that weekend. And so there's a lot of power in what these big football weekends can do. I think for baseball, they're going to probably focus more on tonight than they are tomorrow, but it'll still be fun.
Yeah. That's what I love about Cal is I just assume Cal like every day has like a recruit that's in town or a recruit that he's seeing, or just like, oh, I'm over here at a Yankees game. I want to stop by and see this kid from Brooklyn. He's like a 5-star. Like I always just assume he's got somebody next to him.
I do have bad news to report. I have it on extremely good authority that Coach Calipari will not be in attendance for Arkansas Notre Dame Saturday. It ain't just one. They have a pregame practice, and then after the game, they're doing 2 different. I don't know if practice is the right term, workouts or whatever, but they've got 2 things going on Saturday. So I don't think a lot of the basketball team is going to be at the game Saturday.
And he's got the women's camp.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
He's prepping for that. That would be a choice, seeing as he tweeted out saying the whole team would be at the game.
Whoops.
Well, I don't know how they're going to do that. Maybe that's what it is they're just doing a pregame practice, like early morning practice, and then they're going to go to the game and then come back and do something. Maybe it's like only some players have to go to 2. I don't know how
you
it
enjoy
works.
the game when you know you're going to have to go get after it again.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, dude, that kind of sucks, man.
Yeah,
Dude, just load up all in a bunch of 4x4s or whatever, and then just drive them across over to the stadium and have them walk right in, wave to the crowd, and get back on and get back after it.
Yeah,
so,
us used to, they would practice early, and then they would do a tailgate, like a basketball tailgate, and they can go to the game and chill. Cal's like, nah.
They don't have time for a tailgate.
Before and after, man. It's a serious business.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. But yeah, I'm just excited to see that. Cal has no respect for football. He's got his fantasy camp going on during the Memphis game, and now he's got this.
I already see a transplant being like, Cal not showing it says it all. It's like, that's not what that meant at all. Like they just have team scheduled activities. Like it's not like he scheduled them to avoid going to the football game. It's like, hey, he's got to get his team ready.
Yeah.
Well, and he's also been traveling all over the place. I know he was at the the Yankees game, whatever that thing was. It was like a Razorback Foundation deal or something up there too. Like they
took everybody. Yeah,
took
like
all kinds of people
squad
up there. But he was up there for he did an in-home visit with a recruit there earlier. He was in Baltimore yesterday. He might even still be there today. I know he was late last night seeing another recruit. So he's been all over the place. Like Kenny Payne's been running practice over there and everything. So he's probably getting back itching to get with the boys. So I'd be doing 2 days also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be too. But also, he's Catholic. Like he's got to have some sort of interest in the game, I mean, to Cal's being the devout Catholic, dude, I bet you Mass is going to be lit tomorrow morning over here in Fayetteville. Like you're going to have it's going to be a crowded house, man. You might have to have a potluck in there if that's the case. So yeah, that's going to be great. But yeah, this is the weekend. They call it the Woo Pig weekend that they're doing. Which they just let everybody know. By the way, they're like doing a tailgate like tonight. They're doing was it the Big Red or Red Rooftop, whatever that is? They're doing that tonight. There's a pep rally lot in the pit lot, which I don't think they've ever done before. So I don't know. Again, it goes back to the communication. But if you're in town, there's going to be plenty of things going on and plenty of things to happen there too. So, Heartbroken Hawk says, Inside Arkansas, have you all seen that Hunter Trade's now bringing Learfield to sell the stadium naming rights? Wasn't that always something, or am I thinking of something different?
I feel like I heard about Learfield a while back, but clearly whoever it is that's doing it hadn't been doing it a ton.
No. I really want to read that chat, but I'm not going to. That one was a good one. talking about the.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, man, it's. But either way, again, folks, we're live at Alumni Hall here in Fayetteville. We have our Walter Christmas Lightning of Arkansas giveaway here in just a little bit too. But steady traffic coming in. The weather could not be better today. It's going to be great tomorrow. Really looking forward to all of that too. And I'm excited to see the atmosphere. I think it'll be good. I think that we got to stop also with these months in between home games, man. This is insane. I know that we know it at Alumni Hall was for Razorback home game. That was the last time we were at Alumni Hall. And here we are a month later. They're at Alumni Hall for another home game. And it seems like the season's already, half of it's been played, like literally. It's crazy. So,
yeah, it's crazy the difference in vibe of like, because I was at that game and it was a nice little. I mean, it wasn't like the most ruckus atmosphere, Alabama A&M, but it's like there was hope, there was happiness, there was positivity, there was smiling, and I'm sure there will be some of that tomorrow. But it is kind of crazy just how different the vibe is going to be.
Is there any other connections to Notre Dame and Arkansas on any sport at all? Like I don't know if they've ever played in basketball.
Luke Jones and Ty Washington. That's it.
Luke Jones. I forgot about Luke Jones.
Do you think they'll do the thing like they do in baseball, like when a player goes back to visit the team he was at for so long, and the catcher will stand up and let him get his little curtain call, his moment? Will they do that for Ty Washington?
When Ty Washington comes in to play H-back, they'll be like, hey, stand and go.
Jeez. Yeah. How many people do you think even forgot that he's on the team? Like casual Razorback fans.
A lot, because there was like 12 people in the chat today that were like, oh, hey, Ty Washington.
Yep. We have the series results. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Arkansas and Notre Dame have just played the one time in basketball. It was a very famous one. Is to go to win the Final Four, or go to the Final Four, third place game in 1977 or 78. Which, by the way, have you guys remember who the coach was for Notre Dame at that time? Chance basketball.
K? No, not K. Who?
Famous ESPN commentator.
Oh, what's that dude's name?
Yeah,
man.
He's got a fun name, man.
Oh my gosh,
Digger
Phelps.
Thank you. There we go.
Yeah, Digger Phelps. That was his only Final Four appearance. And so Arkansas took care of business.
Well, he
with
milked
the
that for all it was worth.
yeah.
It's like 40 years on TV after that.
Yeah, I love how Aiden just came into Doug Gottlieb.
Oh, he's going through it, man.
We didn't ask who stole all the credit cards in Stillwater.
Golly, yeah, that guy, man.
And who sucks at coaching right now.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, where's he at?
Green Bay.
They were losing some like crazy games last year. It was unreal.
Is he like? He's got to be one of the most unlikable like sports I don't know anybody that's like, man, I really like Doug Gottlieb. I like his takes.
It's so weird that he's doing that and he's kept his show, his radio show he does every day. It's just
and he talks crazy on that radio show.
He does. He does.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do our Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway here shortly because I figured out how we are going to make this happen because we have had a ton of entries into this. In fact, we have had exactly 165 people enter into this. 165 people enter into it for the Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway. So here's what we're going to do is that I got a really official spreadsheet that's made with all the names and everything. And it's got numbers, and I have randomized it completely. Completely randomized the entire deal. And what we're going to do is we're going to have and put the pressure on intern Cameron. I feel like he's the one that has to be able to come over here, and he's going to give us just a number between 1 and 186. And then we are going to go with that number, and that person's going to win. Does that work for everybody?
That works for me.
Does that seem like it's a fair way of doing it?
I think so.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron's going to be fair about Cameron.
You just have to assume that Cameron is not corrupt and that Cameron has not looked at the list and found a name that he likes and then is saying that number because of that.
Cameron told me before the show he has never gotten into the third lane. So
he's a two-lane guy.
He's an upstanding gentleman.
I did not hear what Curtis just said. What?
He said you do not get in the third lane. You're not the third lane guy.
Well, we're counting on you to have a lot of integrity here to do this raffle here.
Yes, this is very important. You probably didn't hear what we were talking about either.
No.
Okay, so we're putting the pressure on you for our Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway. Okay, so we have had, again, giving the number, we have had 165 different entries, okay? They have been officially randomized and fully numbers, and all you have to do...
The number changed? What happened in the last
I thought it was 180, but it was 160.
I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah, we just had 20 people just drop off. They just deleted it. So, okay, so for this, you have to pick a number randomly between 1 and 165 to make sure I do. So completely unbiased. He's not seen the list or anything like that. What number?
I'm going to go with Vahito Aloy's number 9.
Number 9. Okay, going with the. I like that.
He's got
like,
the jersey on.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go with like 69. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Number 9, Keith Kelly. Keith Kelly is the official winner of our Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway. And again, you had to be in Northwest Arkansas or in the River Valley. Do we need to double check the address here to make sure? I'm not going to give it out on the air, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, what's his address?
Yeah. What's his address? What's his phone number?
I just see that area code, so immediately I was like,
Social 522. No.
Oh man! So this is it is in the Central Arkansas area. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can do this, Keith. We've been trying to tell you, it was all about Northwest Arkansas and River Valley. But if you're in the city of Conway, I feel like that's Central Arkansas. That is not the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas.
So do you just go to Baby Aloy?
Yeah,
25?
Yes, you gotta get this a different number.
Go 25.
All right, 25. The next one up is Nathan William, guys. Like, come on, you're trying to cheat the system for the Walter Christmas Lighting giveaway. Come on, what are we doing here? All right, Fort Smith. We're good.
That's
the River Valley.
We got a winner.
Yep, we got a winner. So congratulations, Nathan Williamson. You are the official winner of our Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas Halloween lighting, where we're going to have Walter, we're like, I'm going to do it. Like, Walter's going to come out to your house, set up your entire lighting system, which Curtis has at his place. And you can tell you, it's awesome. And you have a free setup and install. We'll get you connected with our guy, Brett, and you're going to have it all squared away. So
Brett's in here.
Who's in the chat, by the way?
He's ready.
Yep. There he is in the chat. So there you go. There you go,
now,
Walter.
Do we feel bad for the other guy? Like, do we send him a T-shirt or something, or is it like
the reason
we
we
knew the
don't?
rules?
The reason we don't is, one, because the rules were in place, and because it's not like he had to pay to get it. You know, it was a
True.
free. You know, it's in or free. If he had paid $50 or something like that.
But think about this: you're amongst 165 of your peers, and your number was picked. I appreciate him for at least participating. I feel like we should give him something.
We should give him something. We should
Give
give
him
him
something. A sticker.
You know what? We're going down a
This
little
is going to be
rock
worth
tonight.
this. Yeah, this is going to be worth the stamps. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So, but wait, listen, we love Walter Christmas Lighting. It's a great deal, and we're going to do another giveaway for this for Christmas lighting later this year. So if you didn't win, that's fine. You'll instead of getting what is the Halloween lights? It's orange and black. I don't think they have black lights. What's on your house?
Orange and white.
I've got orange and red.
Orange and red. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Christmas is
fall colors, yeah.
green and blue, or green and blue and red. Blue's a little Christmas, you know.
Jack-o'-lanterns and razorbacks. What I got going on.
Yeah. Which is funny, by the way. No one really cares about this as much, but to do giveaways in the state of Arkansas, there has to be certain things listed that I had to make sure I looked up and have to say, hey, purchase. Like, if you win it, you have to claim within 30 days. It has to be done. If not, it has to be released. There's just a lot of these rules that had to be listed. So just in case you guys ever do a giveaway here in the state of Arkansas, better be on top of it, or else the govs, the feds are going to come after you if that's going to be happening. So good job, Cameron. I was going to call you, like, I was going to try to think of some sort of a Lloyd name to it, but I was like, no.
Good job picking a number.
Yeah, good job. Hey, and here's another thing too. You guys better tune in for the Inside Arkansas Football pregame show tomorrow, because Cameron did a great job breaking down the game. Had some great comments there. So be sure to tune in.
I just want to make it.
out.
I want to make it clear one more time here that Cameron is one of us.
He is.
You know, because I can't stop thinking about that chat last night. Hello, boys, and Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What do I mean? If he needs to stand a cut above, I accept that completely. But at the very bare minimum, Cameron's one of us.
Yes, he is. In
Appreciate that.
fact, yeah. Well, it's like I said. I think it was before we got today on the show. It's like when Cameron, and I put out that picture of like the fantasy came out of Calipari's thing, and he back here to me says an X on Ronnie Brewer and check mark on Johnny Brewer. I'm like, see, this is why we love you. It's like just dumb stuff like that. That's great, Cameron. That's why we do it. That's why we love Cameron. He does a great job. All of our interns do a great job. So, but again, we'll get with you. Gotta make sure I get the name right, because somebody's gonna get mad. Nathan Williamson. We'll get in contact with you, and we can get you in touch. And here you go. There's Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas giveaway for the Halloween stuff. So man, it's packed in here. I keep
Yeah,
looking at Alumni Hall.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's. I think they still have plenty of stock on stuff too. So again, they got decor too. They got tailgating gear. They got pictures, paintings. They got the cornhole still up here too. They got the different variations of that. There's some of this stuff I don't even know what it is, but I need to go look at it at some point in time. But if it's got a Razorback on it, and if it exists, it's here. If it doesn't exist, it's not here. So
I've seen a lot of hoodies and sweatshirts come off the racks today.
Yeah.
A lot of polo shirts.
Oh,
Tons of polo shirts.
We're entering hoodie season.
We are.
We're not far
Yeah.
away. I mean, we're not there, but we're getting close. So you might as well stock up on it.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, it is.
see, Cameron, we just need you to like always have a microphone, and so that way you can just chime in random comments like that, just to be on the thing. Which I don't know if I told you guys, and nobody cares, but I'm a recent convert of hoodies. I used to hate hoodies. I hated wearing hoodies. I never liked them. But here over the past about year and a half, 2 years, I've converted into a hoodie person.
Is there a reason?
Because I felt like if at football games, college football games, Big Ten teams always wore just the jerseys and the hoodies to games, and I thought that was like low class. So I just never really was a hoodie person. So that's the stupidest reason.
I was going to say,
time.
John is good for that. Of like, oh yeah, I'm morally against this, and it's like the stupidest reason.
Oh,
I've
it's
ever heard. It's like what?
I choose my morals wisely, where I know no one shares them. That's also why I keep them to myself most of the time, because I'm like, I know everybody's gonna be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, yeah, it's like that's the friend group I have. I mean, I'm not gonna out him, but like a friend of mine, you guys know him. He thinks, when they wave to the kids in the in Iowa,
I've been hearing about that.
he hates it. He hates it from the get go. He says
He's not alone. I love it. I think it's cool.
It's
but
awesome.
There are haters of the Iowa wave.
Yeah.
People hate it.
Actually, yeah, me and Andrew were just talking about that at the last scrimmage.
Really? See, and I was just like, because his reasoning is, it's bullying the kids. I'm like, how is that bullying the children? Like, you're waving to them. Like, you're being nice.
Bullying is what Cardale Jones did to that one kid that he went and visited in the hospital and beat him like 192-3 in NCAA.
Oh, yeah. That is the toughest type of look around, is if something like that happens. So, fellas, this was a great show. I know we had some audio issues, folks, and it's something we tried to avoid, but sometimes happens, man. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do about that? We didn't know what to do. You just got to go with that.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, tell me what to do about it. So, but this is great, man. Again, we appreciate Alumni Hall having us out. We're going to be back here. We'll get with you on the time. I'm pretty sure it's before the Auburn game. So, but we'll give you details on that the Friday before. But either way, it's always great coming out. We love coming out here. Love everybody that showed up. Love everybody that's been hanging out with us. And guys, do we have any final thoughts before we roll out of here for the day and for the weekend?
Well, this is usually where I would try to rally everybody's spirits to get excited for football, and I'm not going to do all that. Enjoy the weekend, no matter what you do. The weather's going to be fantastic, and no matter what happens, the sun will rise again the next day. That's all I got for you.
That is true. I would say it's all about the expectations and what you're looking to get out of something. If you are waking up tomorrow and you are needing a football win to feel good about your life and to feel happiness, that's probably the wrong way to approach it. Not to say they can't win. I just like in the result of the game tomorrow. I think you should find a way to enjoy it no matter what. And hell, some of you guys will enjoy it if they lose. I just think that you should be able to watch the game, go to the game, cheer for the Razorbacks, but don't let it take away your joy, in being alive and being, having friends, family, all these things.
If you need a Razorback football win to be happy, seek help.
Yes.
No, I'm serious. And if they win, yeah, you should be happy about it. But I'm like, you should not go depending on the win to fill you.
Yes. Now it's incredible. What about you?
Before distract you from the fact that there's baseball at Baum tonight.
Yeah.
There you go.
So definitely attend that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys could tell. I think Cameron's pumped for it. He's literally wearing an Alloy jersey. Where'd you get that, by the way? Of course, you got Alumni Hall. Never mind. I'm not going to ask you that. It's at Alumni Hall. But either way, it's been great once again coming out here and hanging out here. We appreciate each and every one of you listening to us, watching us, and hanging out with us. Appreciate Walter Christmas Lighting for the giveaway. It's going to be a great one. We appreciate Alumni Hall. Appreciate all of our sponsors, and appreciate everybody putting up with us, because I'm going to be honest, we love it, and they are great with us here. But, man, are we always in the way of everything right here. Like, we appreciate everyone's patience, because they got people crawling over stuff, and it's just like, hey, watch the cords, buddy. Like, you got to go on your way. But either way, we appreciate everybody, love everybody, Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to tune in to Inside Arkansas Football pregame show presented by SARACEN tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. right here on